Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Today, I'm going to present a rare case of iris depigmentation. So this was a case post a phakic lens implantation, and that is how we progressed with the case. So as we all are looking forward to that, eyes are the window to our soul. So the color of the eyes quite defines the person, and too much along with makes the insured to show the expressions around the world to everybody. So we had a 21-year male coming to us for spectacle independence who's been using regular glasses. His fundus showed myopic changes. The left eye was anisometropic amblyopia leading to best corrected 6/12, but the right eye corrected to 6/6 with glasses. Next up, when we did a pentacam to find out whether we can go ahead with a refractive surgery for this case, we found out that the corneal thickness was adequate enough and the bad map showed good results so that we could go ahead with a refractive surgery. But the consideration was that the right eye could go ahead for a laser vision correction and the left eye had to be planned for something else because the refractive correction was quite high. So we thought about different things to be done in both the eyes. That's how the ACD was calculated for left eye to be adequate. The gonio was fine with grade 3, grade 4 angle open, and the specular counts were normal. The plan of treatment that we defined was that we should go ahead with the right eye smile treatment and the left eye phakic lens. When further, the patient was operated for both the eyes in a gap of 1 day, and the post-op results show very encouraging to us that right eye was, with the smile, the patient corrected best to 6/6, and the left eye, despite of the phakic lens, the pre-op vision with the anisometropia was 6/12 part, but to our surprise, the patient read 6/9 post-op, so we were very happy with the results. The vault was very good, maintained with 770 microns. When the patient was called back after post-op 1 month, we saw the vault to be settled down at 706, but there was a high spike of IOP. When we saw a spike of IOP, it had to be managed with the anti-glaucoma drugs, and the patient's IOP controlled after around 20 days of treatment with the anti-glaucoma drugs of timolol. Following that, the patient was maintained with the IOP. That's how the anti-glaucoma drugs were withdrawn. When we called up the patient at 4 months post-op, he started complaining of left eye polyopia. The pressures were maintained without any AGM, and the best corrected vision was still maintained. The vault was good enough. When we did the gonioscopy, the angle showed moderate to heavily pigmentation of the TM. Following this, when we did a post-op day 1 pictures, I'm sorry, I won't have it on the slit lamp examination because there's no dictum to take a post-op normal picture for the patient. So the post-op day 1, iris and everything looked fine. The pattern and structure looked good. But when at post-op, month 4, when we looked at the patient, this was how the iris pigmentation had started changing for this patient. Following this, as a routine, because we had already done the OCT images for the vault, when we looked at the vault, the right eye, this is both the images of the left eye for the vault. So post-op day 1, we can see the iris looks very regular and fine in structure with no abnormality changes. But on the other hand, on post-op month 4, when we look at this patient, the iris has started showing the discoloration there. Following this, we do have the slit lamp images also to be compared, and the BCVA for both eyes was maintained with IOP well maintained and regular follow-ups to be seen with the patient. So, you know, this is a very erratic thing to be seen in a patient after the phakic IOL implantation. So we had to look back to the literature that why only one eye that we have undergone with the phakic lens, the patient is presented with the polyopia along with all of these changes that we see. So we look back, and there's something called as the BADI that they have defined, that is bilateral acute depigmentation of the iris. But all of these reports that have been given in the past only show that either it can be related to some of the antibiotics, or it can be related to some of the anti-glaucoma drugs, or it can be related to a lens continuously rubbing over the iris to cause some depigmentation, which is not very significant in our patient in any way. So, and also sometimes the pigment dispersion also masquerades with the uveitis, but the patient's AC looks fine and there's no inflammation there. So the mystery remains for us whether this is because the patient was on AGM, but timolol is not known to cause any of these. The antibiotics, we haven't given anything other than the normal ones that we give so that the antibiotics would have caused us, or the uveitic changes we don't see, and there's no history of viral. So here what I would like to conclude that we need more such cases to be documented in such a way so that we can have more things to publish over it, that why a phakic lens can cause a depigmentation. But this has been just one case that we've encountered in such a long period of time. So I think the mystery still remains, and we're still looking forward to this. Thank you.
Good. I think if there is a minor trauma on your ICL, that can lead to this condition.
I understand, sir, but retrospectively, one more thing we found out in that patient, that this patient had a history of glaucoma. So maybe some other consultant had started long back on a letonopros for this patient. But since the time we had been seeing this patient, the patient never came for an anti-glaucoma drug with us, like only timolol post-operatively for 20 days that we've given. So we are anticipating more to be related to an anti-glaucoma agent which has already caused the iris pigment changes prior, sometime back before the refractive surgery was being planned, and probably it has encountered in this way, because we do have anterions and everything also, so there's not even a little phakic lens touch on the iris or something that we can anticipate with having a continuous this thing. And actually another thing is, had it been that way, we could have seen pigment dispersion in the AC as well. We don't have a significant pigment to be released into the AC or on the phakic lens to justify that.
Very nice presentation.
Otherwise, there was no history of anti-glaucoma treatment.
No,
you
sir.
got it retrospectively.
Retrospectively, sir, when we asked, he said, I have a family history, so one of the consultant has started him on a prophylactic letonopros. But since the time he was there,
sorry to intervene. So letonopros must be being used in the other eye also, right?
Yes, probably, ma'am. Yes.
Yes.
But that patient underwent a phakic
only
smile
one
in the other eye, so we
smile in
anyway
the
did
other.
not enter the AC.
Correct.
So probably that's why there was a no bilateral thing that we got with that patient.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much.